Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next phase of the annual meeting. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're wondering if you're a member if you've had communion three times in the last year. So it's a low bar, a low and loving bar. I just want to wish you a welcome. I want to share something that happened this morning at the 8 o'clock service. A young man came to church for the first time, and he said, I live in the neighborhood. I've never been to an Episcopal church, but I saw Bishop Buddy's sermon, and God told me to come and find an Episcopal church. So that made me feel very, very, very proud. Too bad he came on annual meeting day, but still, hopefully he'll come back again. And it was just a really sweet moment, and I give thanks for that. Other than that, welcome. We've got a couple of things happening today. We're going to vote for new vestry members. We're going to say thank you to outgoing vestry members. We're going to vote for convention delegates. We're going to hear a financial report, a senior warden's report, and then we're going to talk about the statues out front for a little while and do some voting on that as well. So lots to cover, and I'd like to invite our senior warden, Ken Robbins, up at this time. Oh, there you are.
Kate, I was hoping you'd make my day. She usually calls me the fabulous senior warden.
Oh, so. You are. He is. This is the second complaint today. I was talking about Father John to someone, and I forgot to use the word beloved. And Marcia said, "You always say beloved." I was like, "Okay, he's beloved. You're fabulous."
It usually makes my day.
You are fabulous.
Thank you. The senior warden's report is very brief because I'm going to give the financial update also. But it's been just a great year. Can you hear me? Yes. All right. It's been just a really fabulous year, as Kate identified in her rector's report. Just so many great things. And this capital campaign and the restoration of the church is so exciting to me personally. And I know the vestry has just a high five to the vestry. They've just really done a great job this year. Every meeting, we have just all of these things to approve, these financial commitments to approve, and it really has been a diligent group this year. So let's hear it for the vestry. The only other thing I'd mention from just a senior warden's point of view is I'm very excited with conversations that we've started with the school, Sandra is our school representative, and she's done a nice job. She's been on the vestry with us and has really kept us abreast of the school. We're engaged with Diane, the new head of school, and several senior folks over there, and I'm very excited about just building that relationship as we go forward in 2025. I want to thank the outgoing vestry members who have done such a wonderful job. Our junior warden, Chris Woodyard, has been just awesome and a great support. Grace Bonamani has Bunamiri. Sorry, I even asked her how to pronounce her last name, and I screwed it up. Sorry about that, Grace. Jazzy Jeff Bryan is going off the vestry, and Vanessa Messia Ulrich also has just really done a nice job. So let's give a round of applause for retiring vestry members. I'd also like to give a real special thanks to Donna Mills, who has been our treasurer for the last several years. The health of the financial situation, I think, she's really contributed to that. Donna has done a wonderful job, and Eduardo Sarafin is coming in as our new treasurer. So we're delighted that he's going to take on that responsibility. And we have a lot to do today, so I'm going to turn it back over to Mother Kate for some of our election stuff.
First of all, just to draw your attention to the minutes from last year, they are in your booklet. Do we vote on them? Do we accept the minutes from last year? No, they're just there. Just please receive these minutes. And now our first election, which is for 4 new vestry members, right, Jeff? 4 new vestry members, and we have 5 candidates. Their bios are in your booklet. We did have a 6th candidate, but she would rather wait until the next election. So that's why there's 5 instead of 6, and you need to just choose 4. You just put a check next to the 4 that you choose. And if you need pens, Jeff has pens, so I'm sure you do need pens, so he's going to be handing those out right now. So go ahead and do this vote now, if you would, for 4 vestry members. Anybody else have a ballot to hand in right now? All right, we have, just for point of due process, we have 3 counters, and they're all well, 2 of them are outgoing vestry members, and the 3rd is on the vestry. And now it's time for the presentation of a review of our 2024 budget, and Donna Mills is not with us today, and so our senior warden, Ken, is going to walk us through 2024. And if you have questions, wait until the end of Ken's presentation, and then I will come around Oprah style to get your questions.
Great. Okay. The annual report, by the way, just has all kinds of chock full of reports. So spend your afternoon reading all these reports. But right now I want to highlight our financial report, which begins on page 35. The treasurer's summary of 2024, and then it's followed on page 36 by our balance sheet, 36 and 37, and then it's followed by the 2025 budget on pages 38 and 39 and 40. And Eduardo will bring us up to date on the 2025 budget. So I'm going to just highlight where we are financially as of the end of 2024. I will say this, that I think the church is in a better place financially than I've ever seen it. And but we still have work to do. I mean, we have such a great and important mission here in the heart of Los Angeles. And particularly this, as Mother Kate pointed out, this very difficult time in our city, it would really be great to continue to build ourselves in financial strength so that we can be a refuge real refuge for our city. I've told Mother Kate and Father John that I think that we are entering, or maybe already in, the golden age of St. James. I actually think that this is just an amazing time to be part of this community. And so I do want to thank those of you who have pledged and contributed to the capital campaign and so forth. On page 35, as you can see, we do have some money in the bank. We have $7.5 million in cash and investments as of year end. The cash portion is about $1.8 million, of which $1 million of that is set aside for the capital campaign. We have about $400,000 in our operating reserve, so we have about 3 months' worth of expenses on hand, which is helpful. It would be nice to have more. We have some cash in the Great Music account, and also we have about $45,000 set aside for the food ministries. Total investments are about $5.7 million, and that includes $1.2 million that has been donated, set aside for Great Music, $160,000 or so for capital repairs, $1.4 million in the clergy endowment, and just under $3 million that are committed for longer-term investing for growth, and also we use the interest on that money to help us with the budget each year. Total contributions came in a little ahead of budget when you add in non-pledged donations and special offerings and bequests. We withdrew about $90,000 of investment income to support our operations. We had a $90,000 contribution from the California Endowment, which we redirected to the St. James Capital Campaign, as this is the final installment of our money that we received from the California Endowment. Total expenses were just a bit above our budget for the year, $15,000 over budget. That primarily was as a result of overtime, property and general liability insurance, rectory property taxes, although we're receiving most of that back, in 2025, church property repairs and maintenance, we had to add some estimated pension payments and benefits. We had some lower spending on parish utilities. So we came in a little shy of our expenses. Our revenue came under budget by about $22,000 ultimately, but we did receive a nice bequest, so we committed part of that to balance the budget, and we ended the year with net income of $49. So kind of zeroed that out. So that's the financial report for 2024, and I'll take any questions. Maybe it was a really comprehensive report, so yeah. So anyway, if you think of questions going forward, feel free to email me or give me a call, and glad to bring you up to date. We want to we continue to want to push forward in transparency in our finances. We want people to feel that their contributions and commitment, financial commitment to our community is above board. And I'll have Eduardo come up and present the budget for next year.
Thanks, Ken. I'm very happy to be here in the golden age of St. James. I actually have exactly the same feeling that stars are lining up for great things for St. James. Now, as mentioned, we did really well in 2024, where we have a net ordinary income of $48. So that's really good. Most churches are in deficit. And I've been an Episcopalian about 6 years. And when I started 6 years ago, all the churches that I went to were in deficits, like bar none, small, medium, and large. So St. James is in really good shape. So for 2025, our budget is estimated at about $1.579 million, which is a little over what we have for 2024. By my math, that's about $120,000. Everything is more expensive, so to be expected, we have to increase our budget. Costs of providing services continue to increase, so that just reflects that. A note from 2024, I'm a new secretary, so I'm going to take a leap of faith here. It is noteworthy that we did fall short in our pledges for 2024 by about 13%. So that's just a statement of fact. And I know things are difficult for a lot of people. However, we did have that blessing of that one-time bequest of 125, which allowed us to balance our books. But I don't think we can guarantee ourselves that we're going to have a $125,000 bequest every year. So I think it is incumbent on all to pledge, number one. And if you look at page 38, according to the 2025 budget, there's still $95,000 that is still to be raised as pledges. No? So it's gone down now. Yeah, but that means that if you haven't pledged, do so soon. Because if we don't collect enough pledges, then that means we'll potentially be in the negative this year. And so when I come back next year, I'll have a dour face saying, we did not raise enough money. And also, it's not in the agenda. We are looking in the next, 5-6 years, looking at the long-term financial strength of St. James. And one idea that we are toying with is really officially creating the Legacy Society for St. James, which is best practices according to the Episcopal Church. So that is something that we will look into. I have possibly a couple of people who are interested in it. And that bequest apparently was a surprise because I guess we were not tracking it. So the idea is that we would know what things may come into the future. We could never rely exactly when, but more knowledge is good. With that, I'll take any questions, but don't ask me very difficult questions because I'm new.
Okay, I just want to. Okay, I just want to know. I know we give money to the diocese. where is that on that? Because I thought we increased how much we were. So where is the?
Where is the mission share, 126,000 or whatever it is on the budget? It's there. We give it to them. Oh, it's the last line. And Andy, do you
Yes,
want to say anything about how awesome it is that we're all the way at 12% now?
Yay.
Yay.
Yes.
I mean, it's a canonical requirement, but still, yay us.
Yes. We've met the diocesan goal.
Yeah, we
But
did.
we can exceed it in the future if we do better next year. It's entirely possible outcome. So yes, the mission share fund from St. James is estimated 148,000 for 2025.
This is just a tiny follow-up. There's line 4604 says mission fund share assistance, $30,000. What is that?
Good catch. That is the contribution that the school is making toward the Mission Share Fund. You know, we've been talking to them about helping out. They did this past year, and they agreed to contribute $30,000 as their portion of the Mission Share contribution.
How is the capital expenditure on the renovation treated in the accounts?
Oh, the capital campaign?
They got 3 more last-minute ballots, so they're going to add those.
Who wanted to see that one? Comfort? Can I email that to you? Can I email that to you, the separate schedule? Great.
I have,
So close. Oh.
I have a question about how my, both of my funds and my pledge were handled. I thought they were supposed to be reported separately, and that's how I asked. But it looks like
Operations area. Does that answer your question, Ingrid? Yeah. But they're both tax-deductible contributions in 2024. So that's why you received the information. And if you'd like to know separate,
No, you should be happy.
because it's hard
fun.
work.
It's wonderful work. All right, now we have another election for you. This is another election. Jeff, can you join me here? This election is for our delegates to convention. And this is a popular job this year because at convention, November 7th and 8th, we're going to be voting for our new bishop. So it's a more, it's maybe a livelier job. It's just the one job. You just show up on the 7th and 8th. And right now, we have,
We check Ken on every ballot.
Okay.
And then we turn the word.
Ken Robbins is automatically a delegate per the bylaws, and so you're not going to be voting for Ken Robbins. But we have 4 nominees currently: Marcia Vargas, John Thies, Vincent Agoe, and Matt Wallace. And so the question on the floor right now is, are there any other nominations to be a convention delegate? Yes, Jerry. Okay, George Marks. Are there any other delegates? Marcia. Marcia is nominating Al DeRusso. So now the ballot is Marcia Vargas, John Thies, Vincent Agoa, Matt Wallace, George Marks, and Al DeRusso. DIRUSSO. Yeah. So what you need to do when we hand you your ballot is you need to add those two names, and I'll spell them for you again once you're holding your ballot. And then you have to vote for 4. Just check 4. Okay? You can't have more than 4. And Ken, don't vote for Ken because he's already in. Jeff. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm just waiting for everybody to have their ballot in hand, and then I'm going to give those last 2 names again. All right, everybody's got your ballot in hand. Please add the name George Marks. And also add the name Al DeRusso, DIRUSSO. DIRUSSO, and vote for 4 people. No, 4. So, yeah, in addition, Ken's already gotten a vote, so you need to vote for 4 more people. 4 more people. In addition to Ken. Yeah, Ken doesn't count in the 4. I mean, Ken counts, of course, but... So I'm going to just keep saying that over and over again to make sure everyone understands. There's Ken, already voted for, but now you need to find 4 more names. Okay. Obviously, if you've chosen one of the write-in names, you have to put a check mark next to it if it's your vote. You can't just write the name. You have to put a check mark next to it if it's your vote. Person of the 4 who gets the lowest number of votes will be the alternate. All right, thank you for that voting. Now those results will appear in the newsletter because it's a more elaborate count. If we were doing it on our phones like we did last year, then we could have this instantly. But you'll see the results in the newsletter. No remaining ballots? Any more ballots? Good. One more second. Now this one, definitely you won't have the results today. Let me just tell you the background of this. If you read the newsletter this week, you saw that I wrote this article in loving detail about the whole process of statues. And if you saw that article, you saw there was a photograph of the front of the church, and it had 4 orange circles on it, one at the top of the church, one on either side, and one sort of right in the middle. And those are 4 empty statue niches that we currently have. On top of that, we have the existing statue of Jesus going like this right above the brass doors. He's not in great shape right now. His hands have lost some of their fingers, but he's there as well. So the question for us is to think about who we want, what saints or other important Christian figures we'd like to see in those 4 niches. In this powerful technology that we have, we can actually 3D print with polymers these statues, but they're going to look like stone. It's amazing, amazing. So we wanted you to think about who would be good. And we had a meeting about this maybe a couple of months ago. I think it was in November where we started talking about it. And what I put in the newsletter and what's on this ballot now are the names that have been coming to the fore about statues. But what I'd like you to do today is, if you like, nominate any other possible statue people, and we can add them to the ballot. So I'm going to hand this out to you now. Take a few minutes to look through this list of names and see if there's somebody that you would like to add. Eduardo, could you hand out on this side of the room? And Martin, if you could hand out to the middle section, and I'll hand out over here. Okay. Thanks. That's 2. those mystery asterisks. In the newsletter article that I sent out, I just happened to include a couple of photographs of statues at Westminster Abbey, and one of them is Martin Luther King Jr. It's a gorgeous statue, and another one is Janani Lawum, the Ugandan martyr. And I put asterisks in the article, and then I showed the photographs. So those are just remnants from my newsletter article. But as you peruse that list, I want to make a correction. The first correction I'd like to make is that Father Kim says that instead of, if you look at the last name above the word other, it says Bishop Paul Chun-Hwan Lee. That's the first Korean bishop. We have a stained glass window depicting him. And Father Kim says that the Korean congregation would be more interested in having a window depicting Bishop Sung-Soo Simon Kim, who is a very beloved. Bishop Sung-Soo, Sungsoo, Simon, middle name, male. But he and his wife have done amazing ministry together, not just in Korea, but in Cambodia and other places as well. Sung-Soo Simon, is it Kim? Yeah, yes.
We're not redoing windows.
No. Did I say window? Gosh, sorry guys, I meant statue. No, we're not. Yes. Bishop Sung-Soo, Sungsoo, Simon Kim. Yes, please remove Bishop Paul Chun-Hwan Lee and replace with Bishop Sung-Soo Simon Kim. Right, we are not going to have the results of this today, but what I'd like to do now is just quickly tell you, in case you didn't see my newsletter article, which statues we already have. In the little chapel of the resurrection, the little chapel, we have Mary, and we also have John, the beloved disciple. Two little statues this big. Above the altar, on either side of the altar in the big church, to the left of the altar we have St. James, our St. James, and on the right we have St. Barnabas, because back some time ago we had a collaboration with St. Barnabas Mission at the corner of 3rd and something. So that's why we have St. James and St. Barnabas. And then, if you're looking this way above the doors to the narthex, we have on the left-hand side, we have St. Paul, and on the right-hand side, we have St. John again. This time he's called the evangelist, but it's the same St. John. And then again, above the doors, the brass doors, we have Jesus. Mary, in addition to the statue of Mary in the little chapel, we have a giant icon of Mary and Jesus, and it's one of the most beautiful things that we own, in my opinion. And she also appears in at least 4 of our stained glass windows. And also in the newsletter article, I gave you the list of all of the saints that appear in our windows. And Martin Luther King, I don't know if Martin Luther King is in our windows, but anyway, so many figures are. Saint Cecilia, the patron saint of music, she has a little appearance in one of our windows. She's about this big in one of the windows. I mean, the windows at the top of the church, the clerestory windows, have so many saints, over 30, I think. How many? Oh, you've got the list. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, do we have nominations for additional saints or important Christian figures to add to this ballot? A question?
A question about what we want on the front of the church. I don't have an opinion on this. It's just really a question. If we are going to have one bishop, should we have all bishops? Or if one saint, should they all be saints? Or is it sort of okay to mix them up?
You know, I would have to say that this election today is a smidge more like a survey because, you know, if we find, if there's some kind of balance problem like that, then I think it'll come to the fore. I don't think that we're going to need to have all bishops. It's okay to have one bishop. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have personal opinions. I think at least one of the figures on the front of the church should be a woman, for goodness sake. I mean, maybe all of them. No, just kidding. Anyway, but there's so many things to think about. I feel there should have to be at least one person of color represented on the front of a church of this multicultural status. So there's lots of things to think about. I guess what I really want to do today is to get a big, good understanding of where your hearts are on this. So do we have any other nominations right now for this ballot? Wait, people are already handing them in? Oh, wow. You already voted? Okay, fine. Wait, oh, that's true. So did you vote? Did you number your votes? Yes. All right. Well, did we leave out anyone important, though? And I want to be one, too, yeah. Okay. Well, that was a whole lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Drew? Wait, let me come over to you with this microphone.
St. Peter?
St. Peter. He hasn't made it into any of our statues. Yeah. All right, St. Peter, thank you. Yeah.
Is this voting just for the people who are here in person, or?
They're not voting online. It's an in-person. Yeah. You're very powerful today.
Just to make a comment, I think you hit a right note that we should consider it a mix. I think it's important that as much as we think about the faith and the church, it should be a person of color, and there should be the issue of bishops. I don't think would be flat. It should be a person of color. Should be a faith, our saint, patron saint, and then a woman,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So we should have consideration of that.
Amen. All right, thank you very much for your feedback on the statues. And now it's time for other business. We're going to be working on counting the ballots for the convention delegates, but we can't have that for you right now because the meeting's only going to be another 5 minutes. But we are going to send you those results in this week's newsletter. And we're going to get the statue information to you as soon as possible. At this time, do we have any other business for the good of the community?
I said I'd be excited to hear about the status now.
Well, it's not possible. Sorry. You'll have to wait for a few days. If Father John were here, he could have whipped up a computer program and we could have done this on our phones, but not. We're doing it the old-fashioned way. Any other comments or any other new business? All right. I think, do we need to vote to close this annual meeting? I'm not sure either. Thank you. All right.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you all so much.
Blessings.
Yes. Blessings, yes. Blessings.
Oh, we're done.
If you are a member of the vestry, please join me up here at this time. If you are a member of the vestry, please join me up here at this time. I don't think it's going to...